And he said West Ham, Manchester City 2. Sorry, it was a scintillating game. One of the games of the season from a neutral point of view. Both teams absolutely on fire in moments in this game. You saw the very best, and in some respects, sometimes the very worst of both teams. You got to a point where you felt both were looking for that draw in the end, no doubt about it whatsoever. They go on to another day, but who has gained the advantage? Is it in Manchester City's court because they have that point ahead? Liverpool have been in the better form in the last couple of months. Who are you going with? Man City, will they be kicking themselves? 3 or 4 great opportunities in that second half. The cutbacks not made. Shots taken from Gabriel Jesus when he should have passed. And Riyad Mahrez at the death with an absolutely barnstorming opportunity to finish it. And he goes for the ridiculously spectacular. He dinks it over the bar. And has he just gone? Has he just gone and costed his team a massive 3 points in this big title race? Of course, there's some controversy for me in the panel to discuss today as well. And of course, there's always going to be. City fans calling for a red card from this tackle from Fabinho, which, as you can see in the still shot, is at stud height. Should there have been a card given for this? City fans calling for Thiago to receive a second yellow card for this as well. Raheem Sterling being given offside by a hair's breadth. And we will be talking a little bit of Trent Alexander-Arnold later as well. Lots of talking points on the football terrace to go through, but it ends 2-2. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings here. We're in the comment section right now. We'll always prioritize super chats and member chats as best we can. Javern will give them a little click and let us know when they've been high. I think my personal computer is about to run out of battery because I didn't plug it in, but there we go. A lot of comment here from the Bill thinks that Man City have got the advantage moving forward. Liverpool will win from here is what we're seeing. We're seeing a bit of Trent can't defend. We'll get to that. Liverpool all the way is what Mohammed thinks. He's confident that Liverpool Football Club will see it through. Lalu, I think Lalu Pato here says Salah's assist. Yeah, it was sensational. That pass was out with this one. And what a great time for Liverpool to get their equaliser and to get back into this game, because they were on the ropes at the end of that first half. They needed a big response and they got it. They absolutely got it. They did. We have a super chat here that says City by far the better team, just lack finishers. Thiago and Fabinho should have been sent off. Straight up robbery. Ref was horrendous is what KC has got to say here. We're going to get the boys involved in that in a few moments' time on the panel. We've got calls, Patrick, we've got Ben backstage. We're going to have more calls coming a little bit later in the show as well. Big up Terry, strongly agree, no false league positions at the end of the season. Struggling if City win the league. How to feel about that with the Crystal Palace and Wolves decisions. I think that's CP. I think you mean Crystal Palace and Wolves decisions. Would love to hear your thoughts. Listen, they should never have got a penalty against Wolves. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. But you have to look at today as an example. I have seen red cards given for tackles like this. If we're being honest, I've seen red cards given for tackles like this. So the way you feel about Wolves getting a penalty, Man City fans will feel it about that tackle. And that is the beauty of football fans in many ways. We'll always see things from our point of view, our rose-tinted glasses at all times. And for me, look, when I look at the refereeing today, I'll be really blunt and honest about it. I felt the referee was refereeing the occasion and not the game. He knew how important this was. He was trying to keep 10 men on the pitch. Thiago should have been booked for a foul that happened about 3 or 4 minutes before the one he was booked for. The second one, I don't even know I don't actually know the law on this bit, because the foul was given against him first and then he makes a late tackle. So I'm not too sure actually what happens, because theoretically the play's dead. So I don't know. But the referee is where the issue lies here, and it's a consistency within the Premier League, and we've seen that many, many times this season. I've always been someone that wants the laws to be refereed and managed in the game, irrespective of how important the match is. I don't care if it's the first 3 seconds of a game or the final 3 seconds. If it's a yellow card, you give a yellow. If it's a red, you give a red. But that tends not to be what the majority of football fans want. Football fans don't want games being ruined a lot of the time. Big up from India, Terry. May your hair grow as fast as the point difference between Spurs and Arsenal. Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, my hair growth's good, bruv. I'm just not revealing it to you, man, yet. It's getting there. True Gunner TV says, how can we sit there and say trust the process after watching that? City and Liverpool miles clear of everyone else. And they are. That's the one thing I've got to say. Miles clear of the rest in terms of the league. How quickly they get back into their defensive shape. The never say die attitude as well. If you look at Liverpool today, they go a goal behind, they come back. They go another goal behind, they come back. How many teams in the Premier League against Man City could you honestly see that happening against on such a regular basis? Honestly, the best two teams in the league by a country mile this season. Terry, don't ever tell me Liverpool are better than City again. It's advantage City, and you know it. City to win the league from here is what Godley has got to say. Listen, I thought Liverpool could have won today, and they could. I never said it was going to be easy. And when I talk about them being better than you, we are talking about a hair's breadth. We're talking about millimeters of difference. Now, from my point of view, I'll be honest with you, I still think Liverpool are going to do it. I still think it's advantage Liverpool from this position. Their form is better. They came to your house today. You led twice and crumbled. You led twice and crumbled. You were trying to win it because you know Liverpool are breathing down your neck. But it could go either way. Also, can we please respect King Kevin De Bruyne, man of the match again in a big game? He was sensational today, there's no doubt. Of course, his goal was deflected, but he was there, he took the shot, it went in. His overall play was very good indeed. And that pass at the end, scintillating. The curve, the timing, the weight to set up Riyad Mahrez should have been the winner if Mahrez was clinical enough on the night. Yeah, another great game for him. And I think it's 8 goal contributions in his last 8 games against Liverpool, who in those 8 games, they've been the best and second best 2 teams in England and the world in that period. And he has turned up on nearly every single occasion. He's sensational. If Mahrez scored, that would be a KDB pass of the season. It would. Lone Tricks there says Taylor has been awful for the past couple of years now. Most fan agendas have a common theme, and that's Taylor is involved in the majority of controversy. He is, unless it helps your team. And no Liverpool fans chatting about Anthony Taylor today. City were by far the best team, is what Chike says. If we had a Harry Kane or a Haaland, we would slap this lot and the race would be absolutely over. Also, Arsenal are shite. Your point there about a killer, you're right. Man City, they scored 2 goals today and were leading. And listen, the second goal they scored was diabolical defending, Matip not getting out, and Trent, again, not going with his runner. I don't understand. I'm sure the guys in the room are going to defend him. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm getting to a point with Liverpool fans where I feel like they would defend Trent no matter what he did. If they caught Trent jizzing inside their pregnant wives, they'd defend him. They'd find a reason and an excuse for it. Legit. They would. They love him so much. But that was that. But City do lack. City do lack killers. They need a killer. They need a killer in their team, no doubt. I'm talking in a footballing sense. This was the first time City have dropped points from a winning position. And that's my point. That's how good Liverpool were today in the end. Their defending in the second half was immense as well. Or what a game. Refs need to be refed based off the rules. Refs need to referee based off the rules of the game. Should have been a red for Liverpool. I thought I read that as 4 reds for Liverpool. Sorry, my dyslexia kicked in there. For me, it's advantage City based off the schedule is what Joshua Jack has got to say. Fan of the channel since the Fan Park days. What a game of football. By far the best game all season. Liverpool stepped it up in that second half. And they did. And that fight there. You know, I talk about this a lot in football. That there is the difference. It isn't about quality you need, but the perseverance, the determination, the desire, the hunger to win. That is mentality. And without it, the Mo Salah pass doesn't happen. Because you're not in the game, you're not trying to do it. You've already died and fallen away. And listen, that's why Jurgen Klopp's team is so special. And to do it against Man City, who are one of the best teams in this Man City team, one of the best in Premier League history, is sensational. Real with Benzema and Vinny will butcher this Liverpool team, is what KC is coming for Liverpool today. He's not happy at all. Liverpool and Klopp in the Premier League. Shoulda, coulda, woulda legacy. City advantage there. Interesting take that. Interesting take. And one here. It happened to Thiago against Everton last season where a foul was given, but Richarlison did a two-footed tackle after the whistle and got sent off. Did he get sent off?
Yeah, but it weren't that.
Okay,
that way.
Cool. I just don't remember that game. I watched so much.
Advantage for Sutton.
Okay. There we go. And listen, look, everyone's going to have an opinion. I'm going to introduce the panel to you now. Of course, we're joined. I've got Ram in the house over there. How you doing, Ram?
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad. And of course, we've got Man Like Mots and we have young Tommy in the middle. How you doing, boys? You good?
Not too bad. Better now.
Better. You all seem a bit deflated. Why are you so deflated?
Because it was proper stress.
Yeah, it's just a stressful game. It's stressful.
Let ourselves down, really.
Yeah, I think if you talk about the overall performance, Man City were just the better team at the end of the day. But we had really good spurts of moments and we took our chances. That's the most important thing. City didn't do that, but we ended up doing it. So we've all been saying City needed a striker, and today proved that they missed a killer up front. Compare it to us where Jota scored and Mane scored a brilliant finish himself. So it is what it is. We have to focus on our own games and hope that Stevie can do a job for us. You know what I mean?
I think it's just more so disappointing the fact that, we've come into this game in better form. It really did look like this was the chance to do something, and we gave them.
We started Diogo Jota. That's what happened.
Diogo Jota scored, man. Come on,
yeah,
put it to the side.
I can't.
But I do agree with Moss.
I can't today.
I think I've been hearing rumors that Firmino was injured in training yesterday, so that's why he didn't start. But if you're fit enough to play, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to play. And
there you go.
We missed him a lot. We missed his link-up play. Everything was just a little bit.
We scored that first goal with Firmino on the pitch. Is Firmino in that position?
I think the whole game doesn't go the way the course of the game doesn't just keep flowing back to defenders. It's not one-way traffic if Firmino's playing. The ball sticks up front. The ball doesn't keep going back over our heads. The long ball isn't on, the diag isn't always on because there's a way out. With Jota, unfortunately, yeah, we got the goal, great, but it's again to get back into the game. We want to be on the front foot, not the back foot, chasing the game.
No, but credit to Jota. Jota scored
credit for putting the ball away. By the way, Edison howler, which no one will speak about, by the way. No one's going to speak about an absolute howler by Edison. But anywho, that aside, I just think that it's on Klopp today. It's on Klopp today. We should have gone with technique rather than pace and power, free shoot first players. That never should have been the way forward. I'll credit Jota for his goal. It got us back into the game, but apart from that, he's done nothing. So
you're saying Jurgen Klopp's team selection is why you didn't win today?
Why we were on the back foot for majority of the game?
Could that not just be City are a good team?
City are a great team, and when you play good teams, you don't play someone who can't stick in the false nine, because that's not a false nine's job, and that's my opinion.
We have a better first half than that if we had Firmino on the pitch, in my opinion.
Exactly. We're on the same.
I mean, yeah.
We're in agreement to that.
But then you can also say Jota got us a goal, and we're in this position because Jota put us in this position. Right? Me and Drifty, big up Drifty from Coppish. We had this conversation about Jota, and we were like, Drifty was like, should we like criticize a guy when his job is not to do that kind of thing? His job is to get goals.
Well, you guys shouldn't do that. And I'm going to go really blunt here. You guys defend every Trent Alexander-Arnold defensive mistake because you say that isn't his primary thing to do. But when it comes to Jota, you're having a go at him for not being able to do the things that aren't part of his primary role. See, that's
playing false nine. It's his primary role as a false nine.
But then he's been put into it. But you're saying, but if he isn't good enough to do that, like Klopp obviously has faith in him.
Yeah, because there's been glimpses where he can hold the ball up. There's been glimpses where he can do something.
I honestly think without Diogo Jota, Liverpool are not even this season, and you're not even in a title race.
Oh, that's for sure.
So, I think for a player to be clutch, score so many goals, to put you into this title race, I think I was sitting here with you. Every mistake he made, honestly, I was worried for the flat screen. I thought you were going to smash it up, bro. But any other mistake from any other player, and it was like, oh, it's okay, mate. It'll be all right next time. Don't worry, it's okay.
Not from Mane. I was on Mane just the same.
Like the agenda is big there, but viewers, what do you think? Was Jota starting a mistake from Jurgen Klopp? We want to hear from you. Get your comments in, get your selections into us as well. Now, I need to ask you guys a question before we go to some of the first calls and some more of the super chats. I want to ask about Firmino for a moment here because, sorry, not Firmino, Fabinho. Why can't I speak? Can't speak. Should he have received more than a yellow card for this tackle?
100%.
You think that's a red card?
100% a red card. That's a red card.
Looking
No,
at
it's a red card.
Looking at it,
There's no
again,
two ways about it. If it happens to any of our players, we're screaming red card every day of the week. That's a red card.
Do you think the referee had a stinker today? So his name's trending on social media. City fans are fuming. Do you feel like he's giving Liverpool a touch today?
Yeah,
he
does that all the time. Like, it's not the first time he's done it. He's done it with us and he's done it against us. He's done it against most teams as well. Like, Chelsea fans have a thing with him. I mean, they say that Anthony Taylor loves Arsenal. We say that he hates Liverpool. It's just the fact that Anthony Taylor, in these big games, he just doesn't act like a proper referee. Like, he takes
to be the star of the show almost.
Well, a little bit. Like, I don't want to get at referees, but when you have stink of performances like this, and it's consistent as well, and not only one fan base, but every fan base talks about him, there must be a reason behind it. And the reason is he's not a good goalkeeper. Not a good goalkeeper. He's not a good referee.
I don't get out some of the decisions he makes. Like, VAR's there to help him as well. Like, he waited for so long to give that. Fabinho yellow card in the first place as well. Like, it's a stonewall yellow, and it's probably a stonewall red, to be fair, because it's a bad tackle above the ankle. You know, that's a dangerous challenge. But so many things in this game today. He doesn't have control. When he's on a football pitch refereeing a match, he doesn't have control over it. He gets surrounded by 6 players at a time. How are you supposed to referee when you can't even control players after the tackle? He can't do it.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. And for me, but the reason why referees lose control, although the players understand that it's an occasion, you could tell by the nerves at times today, you could tell by the energy, you could tell by the feeling from the crowd that this was a massive match. But referees lose control when they referee occasions, because I saw the City players getting angry and getting uptight when Thiago isn't booked for his first bookable offence. Then he commits another bookable offence, and they're like, well, he shouldn't have been allowed to stop that counter-attack. He shouldn't have been able to do that because he would already been booked. So he either risk getting sent off or we're allowed to counter-attack. And I've always had a bugbear with that. It didn't happen in this game, but you see it a lot with refs. You'll have these moments where a player should get booked in 5 minutes and they don't book him. And then that means he's got that cynical foul later in the football match. And that's where referees lose respect from players and they lose control of games. And I think for me, in a game like today, you referee by the letter of the law, you keep everybody honest. And if you've got Liverpool players that are late in tackles, if you've got City players that are late in tackles, they lose their position on the pitch. And I think then otherwise it becomes about the referee rather than it being about the football. And to be honest with you, it was one of the best games. I'm sitting here as a neutral and I'm winding you guys up during the game, but it was a brilliant football match to watch. And it just bothers me again that refereeing decisions are kind of what's irking people rather than people sitting there and saying, you know what, that was a sensational game.
You know what, as well, when it comes down to it, if Anthony Taylor had sent off Fabinho, because it was in was it the 65th or 70th minute? If Anthony Taylor sends off Fabinho there, or he sends off Thiago for 2 bookable offences, we're still talking about the referee, and it'll be the referees ruined one of the best games of the season. Stayed 11v11. This, that, and the other.
That is a great point. That is an absolute point. And look, guys, in the show, we're going to be talking Trent Alexander-Arnold. We are going to talk about who's got the advantage. Is it City chasing a treble? Is it Liverpool Football Club chasing this infamous, or not infamous? Infamous is it would be infamous to me as a United fan.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented is the word I was looking for. Well done. Much better use of the English language. The quad, is it still on in Liverpool fans' minds and opinions? We want to hear from you. We're going to go to our first caller soon. We're going to get Dom Hussim on in a minute. We've got Patrick, who's a City fan backstage as well, plus more. The super chat's first here. Chelsea are nowhere near Liverpool and City's level.
The whole, every single preview I've watched of Liverpool and City, every Liverpool and City fan said Chelsea are not on our levels. It's fact.
Chelsea want to be.
Chelsea want to be a part of that conversation, but a lot of City fans, I think more City fans than Liverpool fans, have said they're nowhere near us. They're nowhere near us.
But in a one-off game, you see why they can think that.
Yeah.
Because again, when you do come up against Chelsea in a one-off game, you think, wait, hold on a minute. These guys are more than capable.
Especially against the big teams, because the way they play is a problem for a lot of big teams. So you can understand why they say, "Oh, we're part of that conversation because we cause these problems to Liverpool and Man City." So it is what
they got a second leg to turn around. So we'll leave them to that.
There's a comment here that says no red card when Chalobah's balls were kicked off.
Why are we still going on?
Listen, let me just say this now. I'm a Man United fan, so I've got no dog in this fight. I've said this for 9 years consistently on social media. There is no agenda against any one team, and no one gains more of an advantage than another. Liverpool fans will point out all the decisions that go against them, and they have done that this year. And rivals will point out all the ones that go their way. It's about equal. It's about equal.
Do you know what? Do you know what's funny? Yeah, I saw that guy. He's Gary the Lion. I think he's a Chelsea fan, right? The exact same players did the exact same thing these Liverpool players did today in the FA Cup final. I remember Azpilicueta did a couple of cynical fouls, and Mateo Kovacic did the same thing. It is what it is, man. It happens. It happens. Just take the L.
Fernandinho's been doing it his whole career.
Yeah. It's part of football. People who say City need a striker with a poacher, you won't make the overloads on the wings, hence creating less chances. You can't just plop someone without changing tactics. You don't need a poacher. Harry Kane makes your team. I'm actually going to say this now. I'm going to save it for later. You need a killer who's going to finish the goals off. You need a prolific scorer. Doesn't matter if they're a number 9, a 10, an 8. Fuck it. I don't care what they are. 172. The number is irrelevant. Fans care too much about that. You need a killer. You should still buy Harry Kane and not Haaland. Haaland can't do on the ball and I don't think he ever will be able to do on the ball what Harry Kane can. Harry Kane can allow himself to drop deep, and then your Sterlings and your Mahrezes, whoever's playing in your wider positions, your KDBs to run through into the box, and he can find them with a pass. Haaland isn't doing that. Harry Kane in this team, Liverpool would not have caught up that 13, 14-point gap, in my opinion. Next super chat here from Daniel says, blaming a single player for a draw is embarrassing. What are you, Chelsea fans? That's from another Chelsea fan, Daniel, there. What a game. Gucci football at the Etihad, while Gucci boy Grealish had front row seats from the bench. Yeah, listen, there isn't enough talk about Grealish being the flop of the season, where everyone's on Lukaku, everyone gets on Jadon Sancho, and they have been awful. But he's just been carried by a brilliant team. There's no doubt. Man United were top of the league and clear by 10 points. No one would be talking about Sancho either. But still, I hear you. Grealish. Oh, hello, Grealish. He says, Liverpool fans never analyze logically, cry about refs. Martin Tyler, Gary, $1 billion, how the league and everyone is against them. If they lose a match, they win. Klopp is God. City fans blaming the ref like Rodri handball didn't happen this season. And that's exactly the point. I forgot about that one.
Amen.
Exactly. Most overrated right backs, both Trent and Cancelo got spun and were at fault for a goal. Just move them both up the field and buy new defenders is what's being said there. Yeah. We are going to talk Trent a little bit later. Everyone said Martinelli's double yellow was correct. Why isn't this a double yellow? Inconsistent refs. Bro, I hear you. Actually, true. So if you can give 2 yellows in the space of one play, no, but he didn't. I don't know the rules because the ref blew for the foul on Rodri on Thiago. So I'd need to know the rule as to when the referee blows the whistle, can you then still pick up a card for anything other than violent conduct? Because I remember before there was a tackle on Chicharito, and I only remember it because it's a United game, by Ashley Cole, Man United Chelsea. The ball had already gone out of play for a corner, and then he studded him on the shin. And essentially, I remember someone saying at halftime that because the ball was out of play and it wasn't violent conduct, cards can't be given. So I think that's why, by the letter of the law, but someone can tell me. Where is the link? We'll get man like J-Ron to share the link now in the live comment sections. Let's get this stream up past at least 600 likes while we're live, though, people. It's a madness. It's not there yet. Get that done. Calls coming soon, but the super chats are aplenty today, so thank you. They mean a great deal to us. A bit annoyed we didn't win. Wesley's a City fan, by the way, people. He says, but I'll take a draw. I want those Liverpool fans to admit KDB is clear of Salah. Rodri also owns Fabinho yet again. Would you just a quick question for you, yes or no? Is KDB better one at a time than Mo Salah?
No.
One's a midfielder, one's an inside forward.
Exactly.
Why is that even a conversation?
Look, Wesley,
I'm gonna compare Gerrard to flipping Robin.
Look, Wesley. I've seen a couple of your comments here. I know you talk a good game. Like you know your football, yeah. But come on, do better, man.
I'm just intrigued by the fact that this after going, KDB's clear of Salah, Rodri's clear of Fabinho, this, that, and the other, and then they drew 2-2 with us.
Exactly.
Dexter here says, welcome to the Anthony Taylor support group. Premier League will be better when this man retires. City will win the league given the fixtures. Salah ghosting since league. Salah, nah.
How did they say today?
He said that pass, mate. Come on now. That pass was great. Kane isn't what City needs. He doesn't drift wide. They need a clinical guy who drifts wide and combines. Kane needs runners for passing. All players that pass need runners. Yeah. If no one run for KDB's balls, they'd just be giving the ball back to the opposition, bro. City could have put the final nail in the coffin today, but after 90 minutes, we are still in the race. Got a point, and we weren't even good. FA Cup up next. I hear you. Right, we will have more super chats for you soon, more conversations, but we're going to go to the fan cams now. Dom Hussam is going to come on with us. I just need to check I've got the right background in, so I've got it all ready. I've got it all looking nice. Let me take that down. Let me hit this button. Let me play the intro. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Big result. Title race still open. Give me your thoughts.
First of all, Terry, you're still doing the Trent thing. It's weird at this point. You get me? Cancelo got his life ruined by Mo. You should be talking about him today because Cancelo absolutely ruined his life. Mo literally ruined his life defensively as well, by the way. So he even stopped Cancelo from going forward. What I would say on the game, I think I actually don't know how, emotionally, I'm just okay, I just don't know what to feel, to be honest, because we sort of went into this week the same way we leave this week. It's a draw. Nothing really happens in City's favor. Nothing really happens in our favor. So it's just this weird feeling, if you get me, Terry. It's just okay, we got a draw, and now what happens? Okay, City don't feel bad. We don't feel bad. So it's just as is. So we have to rely on Manchester City to drop points going towards the end of the season. Of course, they still have to play Wolves. That's a dodgy fixture for them. They've dropped points against Newcastle before. The last game is against Stevie G and Aston Villa, so that could be something. So there still is hope in this. We enter this week the same way we leave this week. As a game, though, first half we did not play well. I agree with every single word Mont said. Jota is the reason why no one takes GA seriously anymore. Jota is one of the players in world football that causes GA to be pushed to the side like it means nothing. Because I said this 2 months, we spoke pre-game, and I said there will be opportunities where we will have a 3 versus 2 counter-attacking opportunity, and he'll mess it up. And he messed up 2 or 3 counter-attacks today. I thought he should have came off the pitch way earlier than he did. I thought we should have went with the technically gifted front 3. The Firmino, Diaz, Mo would have been my front 3, or even even Mane, Salah, and Diaz, because I think those 3 are much better on the ball. And I think as well, as soon as Henderson came off the football pitch and Keita came on, I think we looked so much better. We looked so much more in control of things because the ball retention immediately became so much better on the football pitch. Henderson's first time crosses, I was stopping myself because I'm fasting, so I couldn't cuss him, and I don't want to break my TV because I don't want to go buy a new TV, but it is what it is, man. These 2 players, I think, Jota, yes, he did score, but it's not just scoring when you play Man City. It's the other things you do around the football. Overall, I'd say second half we performed really well. Take a draw away at Man City. It isn't the end of the world. The only issue I have is I'm emotionally just clueless right now. I literally do not know how to emotionally feel. My emotions are just what do I be angry? Do I be happy that we came back twice? Should I be mad that we didn't get the 3 points? There's so much things happening in my mind right now, but it's just as is, Terry. Nothing really happened. It's just as it is now.
Mate, I hear you. And do you know what? Interestingly, in this room with these 3, as soon as that final whistle went, before we went live, this room, the energy died because it's almost, I don't know whether to be happy, annoyed, excited, because it's almost the way this game was built up was somebody was going to win. There was almost no real, there was all the jokes going on that, or what if it ends in a boring 0-0 draw? It didn't. But now it's almost, well, we are where we started. We don't know whether you guys are we all expected 2 points in front or 4 points behind, and it's now as you were. And it makes the remaining games, I think, just a little bit more interesting now, actually. Almost a little bit more interesting and everything else. It's kind of like a reset. They've got a 1 point advantage. And you go again, mate. But so listen, Sam, I really appreciate you coming. I know you're fasting and everything, brother, and everything else. And I'll catch up with you soon, my guy.
Peace out, bro.
See you.
Top man. Cheers. I was going to go back at him over the Trent stuff because he's fasting. I don't want to rile him up because he might say something horrible. He wouldn't say that horrible. I know he wouldn't disrespect his religion like that. Next on the show, we're going to get Patrick on, who's a Manchester City fan. Then Ben is on with us. Patrick's here. What you saying, mate? You're on mute, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Yeah, great. Look, man, for me, I'm gonna bring up the Trent thing. I've been arguing with Liverpool fans for seasons and seasons. I don't hate the boy. The boy is talented, but I've said it. The kid has no defensive awareness. And if I were a coach, I would say just attack him. Hussam gets pissed off. I know he takes it very personally, but if there's a Liverpool fan out there who's honest, you will say Trent, even Cancelo, Hakimi, these guys are flashy, but when it comes to defending, it's people like Walker. It's a fullback like Walker who nobody defends in England, but yet everybody would die for Trent when it comes to defending. But anyway, going to the game, I'm very disappointed. One thing I'm disappointed by is not because we're going to lose the title. No, don't get me wrong on that. I'm only disappointed because we were the better team, and I think we could have killed Liverpool. Fair play to Liverpool. I did say it in one of the pre-match streams we had. I said Liverpool right these days is not the same team anymore. I would rather take the Van Dijk from years ago or Matip from years ago. This time, without one Adam in that midfield, you guys are no longer strong there. It's actually your front that's carrying you. It's like your front is too lethal. And I told people before that we have to be careful. Some City fans were laughing. I was like, we have to be careful. There's Diaz, Jota, and Mane. All they need is one moment. Unlike us, who we need multiple moments. We are missing tap-ins. Like it's just ridiculous. Yes, we do need a killer, and I think if we had somebody like Kane, Terry, you're right about the Kane thing. Other City fans won't admit it. I think Kane would be better than Haaland in this City team. We could have been very far away from Liverpool, very far.
I hear you, my guy. One question for you: advantage to who? Who did this result benefit the most, in your opinion?
For me, to be honest with you, I was going to take a draw, and I was thinking that even if we draw, right, I would rather just draw and get away from this game, and then we continue going head to head. A lot of people keep saying, "Oh, we're breathing behind you. Oh, we are right behind you." You were breathing behind us before. Remember, you breathed behind us for long. We could hear your breath. It didn't care. Pep didn't care. The players didn't care. We beat you with 1 point. So this is what I wanted. I wanted either we win or draw. I just don't want us to lose, and then we go on with these 7 games and see who's better. I think for me, if Liverpool continue winning until maybe they win all the games, I'll give them respect. I'll say, look, the title is all yours. So I don't see any advantage to anybody, but I'm just saying we're in a better position right now because even with that 1 point, I think we'll try our best not to slip down. I don't know who's going to be playing first. That's also what's going to piss me off. If Liverpool keeps playing first and winning and we keep have to be chasing, that'll just be bad for us. And another thing, both of us play Wolves, I think so. Both Liverpool and City still play Wolves.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be an amazing run, and there's no doubt. Patty, top man for coming on and having your say. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Now, these guys have got to sit here and think about this because the big question for them after Ben's call, and I want to hear from each of these boys, and I want to hear from the viewers, who is the advantage with and why? Concise, though, boys. You haven't got to have 10 minutes each because I've got home to get to. But listen, I want your views as well. But Ben's on with us now. I'll let him finish his sip of his drink. He's ready now to go. What are you saying, Benny boy?
Listen, it's not ideal, of course. A point today. It's not in our hands anymore, and it was. And Hussam said it's not really benefited either team. I mean, it has. City have it in their hands now. But I just want to touch on this Diogo Jota thing, to be honest, because I'm fed up of people, not just Mons, not just Hussam. It seems like there's a lot of people on Twitter as well saying that he's the reason we drop points. And I'd like to know what part of Trent playing his man on side and a deflected shot was Diogo Jota's fault, because he had no role to play in that. He scored a goal, And you know what as well, Terry, right? These Liverpool fans, I don't know what Monst's take on this was, because I didn't know him this time, last year. But Liverpool fans that I've spoken to for like 3 or 4 years now have said, oh, this false nine thing doesn't work anymore. We need a proper striker in. Well, we get the striker in and he scores goals. And now they're saying that's not working. So what is it? Do we want Firmino to start, or do we want a proper striker to start? Like, let's make our mind up, because Jota scores goals and that's what you want. And now all of a sudden, because he's not passing the eye test and he's not doing flicks and he's not, linking up play, all of a sudden we don't want a proper striker now. And I just don't understand it myself. The guy scores goals. What's that? 21 for him this season now, which is more than everyone in our team but Mo Salah. So I don't get it myself personally. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But in regards to the title race, of course, a draw is, on reflection of the first half, I take it and run. Like, I'll take that and run 100%. Because at halftime, I thought, City are probably going to score 2 or 3 more. The way it's going, we just look completely off it. I think the only good thing we did in that first half really was the goal. I think the goal was really good. But apart from that, we didn't really do much else. And then second half, I don't know what Klopp said to them, but it was just completely different. And I just said it on a space before I came on. We can take a bit of confidence from that ahead of the FA Cup game, because we played 70% of that game nowhere near our best, probably even more than that, 80%. Yet we didn't lose. So if we improve on that, we take some points away from that and just focus up and fix up a few things, we can beat them at Wembley. 100% we can get at them at Wembley and beat them and get to the final. But it is what it is. The best team's going to win the title at the end of the day, and if that's Man City, so be it.
May I hear you, Ben? Great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, brother. And we'll speak to you again soon. And listen, I agree with him on his Jota stuff. There was the only mistake he really made in that game where I'm like, that was a bad one, was when it was a very easy switch out to the left-hand side. I'm not too sure who was the player he was passing to, whether it was Mane or Robertson. I assume it's Robertson. And it was an awful pass from him. I feel like other mistakes in the game where he lost the ball were natural and normal. Mohamed Salah lost the ball 5 more times in the game than him today. But I didn't hear one of you get angry at Salah once.
If Jota plays on the wing and he loses the ball like that, I'm not saying the same thing, because the false nine's job and the winger's job are 2 different things.
That doesn't. Done his job that doesn't. He scored the goal.
No, the false nine's job is to score the goal. A striker's job.
Is he playing as a false nine, or is he playing as a striker?
This is my saying. Well, personally, I think it just comes down to preference. In the end of the day,
but
who says he's playing false nine though?
Exactly.
Fans or Klopp?
Because
the system is a false nine.
Look, I want to repeat what Drifty said. We all know that the guy, link-up wise, isn't the greatest, but what he's so good at is putting the ball in the goddamn net. We were crying about it last season that we did not have a goal scorer. That was one of the reasons why we had that 6-game losing run. Now we've got one. Why?
That's not what I was saying, but who is it?
But why are people on Twitter or whatever?
I think I know what this is. This is we live in this obsessed world with how good a player looks as opposed to what they actually produce. And I'll admit, Jota isn't the best. He doesn't pass the eye test for a lot of people. But you had Firmino for 2 years passing eye tests, but not being impactful in your games. And I remember saying towards the end of your title-winning season, if next year you guys fall off for whatever reason, you're not at the top of the league, you will all focus on the lack of goals from Firmino. As soon as your injuries came and you dropped away from being top, 6 defeats on the bounce at home, blah, 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 we need a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer.
It wasn't just Firmino. It was Mane stunk up the guy for the whole season as well.
But Firmino was targeted. We need to bring someone in who's going to score goals. And of course, Jota was injured for a large part of last season. He has scored 21 goals this year. He's the reason in the title race. Yes, he makes some mistakes, but who doesn't? KDB was brilliant today. But I can guarantee if you watch the game back or look at the stats, there was 3 or 4 times where he should have played balls that didn't come off. Or he should have done something that didn't come off. This is just so normal.
Can I ask a question as well? How many strikers are there that can do what Jota does and do what Firmino does at the same time?
Exactly. I think my point is against Manchester City. I still think our most dangerous front three is Jota, Mane, and Salah. I'm not saying that's not our most dangerous front three, but when it comes to Manchester City, you need more than that. That's because at the end of the day, Mane's got back to scoring this season. Salah's, well, not in the greatest form, but is scoring as many goals as he's scoring this season. In our system, if the 2 wingers are banging in goals at a crazy rate, you do not need the false nine to be scoring 20 goals for the season. I get, especially when he's not contributing to the game anything much else.
I get what that's simple. Because I was on the same boat. I wanted Firmino to start. But if Firmino started, I don't know if we guarantee getting that first goal.
I hear that.
If Firmino starts, he's not in a position to score that first goal because he's not a natural poacher. That is a coach's goal, just to find that pocket.
Most of the goals he scored this season have been poachers' goals, but
which is why I don't think we're playing we play the false nine against United because United's midfield is dead. What are they going to do against the false nine? You're up against City midfield here that has one of the best.
Did free shoot first? Did a front three or free shoot first work today?
Well,
it depends where you.
Did it work not work?
In what way? I mean, how often have you come to the Etihad and beaten City under Klopp in the league?
Once.
Once.
So you're the first.
Not in the league. We haven't beaten them in the league.
You haven't beaten
2015.
2015.
No, against Pep or under Pep.
Under Pep. Yeah. So you haven't beaten him in the league, right? So that deadly front three you mentioned, your title-winning team, and others have not been able to come here and get a positive or a win a game. You've come here today and you've come from behind. And by the way, as Ben said, you weren't losing because of Jota. You weren't losing. But the point is, you were only losing because of the first goal. There's a bit of poorness to it. The second goal, awful defending. You're down. If your defense was better today in the first half, Jota and Mane win you the game.
I think the press was equally to blame as well. The press, not just Jota on the press, the whole press.
No, I do hear you on them, my friend. Free Citizen here says Terry's always on, and I'm not on KDB. Again, you're misunderstanding. KDB not completing all these passes and losing the ball 13 times today, it's normal. It's not a criticism. It's natural. It's weird, though, that we focus on certain players that do it and not others. So that's the weird thing for me. Now, boys, I want to ask you this question, and viewers, I want the same from you. Who is the advantage on? Who is the advantage for now? Is it
Liverpool?
You still think Liverpool?
Yep.
City, because if both teams win all the games, they win the title. It's in their hands now.
In the current form, oh no, go on, you go first.
I think it's City. Like, City are ahead of us, and they've arguably got the easier fixture run. They're bearing in mind they did drop a lot of points against these kind of teams, but we've got. I mean, I was going to say United, but let's forget United. We've got Tottenham, and we've got who else? We've got Wolves as well. So it's going to be tough. But for me, it's City at this moment in time.
I think it's Liverpool.
You're going with Liverpool. I'm saying that I'm going with Liverpool as well. I still think Liverpool's form going into this game has been better. And look, City increased their levels today. They really did. But you still were able to cut them open on a number of occasions. And if Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't have another disastrous performance defensively, you win today. Literally, and he did. And Trent did have a bad game today. And I know that everyone's defended him on it. And look,
did Cancelo have a bad game today as well? They both got an assist and they both had a bad game defensively.
I don't think Cancelo was that bad today. I don't really think he was. But equally, though, what I do know is this. What I do know about Cancelo is that Manchester City fans will call him out. What I find hilarious about Liverpool... How many City fans do you even know?
So how do you know that?
I can guarantee you we're going to get some City fans on in a bit. They'll say, yeah, like when he makes mistakes. My point with Trent is, and you guys are a testament to this, when this ball was played, Matip's onside, Trent stands still and doesn't go over his runner, but you three... Maybe not so much Tom. I'm going to let Tom off the hook here. You guys sat here.
No, you can't back out.
You guys sat here and made every single type of defense possible as to why. Oh, yeah, but Matip should have been up and it should have been this. It shouldn't have been that. Trent has got a habit of not going with his runner, and the defense he gets for it is mental. Like, I get it when the ball's in normal play and you guys are like, oh, yes, because we might win the ball back and counter. Not from a fucking cross like that.
Terry, there's a difference between blaming it solely on Trent and blaming on multiple players. I blame Trent, I blame Matip for playing him onside, and I blame Trent for not going in front. Do you know what was? Because it's a shame because you walked out of the room at the time. The exact same situation happened, and Sadio Mane dealt with it.
He went with his man, and what he actually did was he didn't foul him, but he leant on, I think it was Rodri, and therefore Rodri wasn't able to get the contact that Gabriel Jesus was able to get for the goal. Now that we understand.
And I agree. And my point is this, though. Matip, of course, should have stepped up.
Yeah.
But Matip making a mistake doesn't excuse Trent for not doing his job. And I'm going to say, I don't think Trent's lazy. I just don't think Trent sees danger. So people say that Klopp instructs him not to go runners, so he's ready for a counter-attack. I think that's a very convenient excuse. Trent doesn't see the danger and stop. He just stops thinking.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Lack of maturity.
I just think he doesn't read it in that way. The same as some Ian Rush. I'll use him as an example because you're all Liverpool fans. He had a predatory instinct to know where to be at the right times to put balls in the back of the net. Jota's doing that for you guys right now. He's just always in the right place at the right time. Defenders are like that. Virgil van Dijk's got speed, he's got strength, he's got athleticism, but his best attribute is positioning because he sees the danger before we see it on ourselves watching on TV. He's like, well, I know where the ball being there, where that runner is, where the ball's coming, and he's in the way. And if he does make a mistake, he has the athleticism to make it up. That's Trent's biggest issue. If I saw Liverpool fans criticize Trent just once, I'd leave him alone. But it's the level of defending. Like I said, if Trent Alexander-Arnold was caught jizzing in Liverpool fans' misses when she was pregnant, they'd still defend him. They'd still be like, yeah, I know, but this relaxes him. We need him relaxed for games. It isn't cheating really because, I ate the last donut and she had to get me back for that. I don't know what it is, but they would find a way of defending that guy to madness. Look, we're going to get some more calls, people. Make sure like buttons are being hit. Peterson's on the show with us now. Long time no speak. I'm just waiting for where's my clip thing. There it is.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Yes, bro. I'm all good. What's on your mind, my friend?
Yeah, first of all, I have to call you out, Terry. You've been horrendous today saying some really crazy stuff. First of all, you said on Twitter, City fans are calling the referee out. They have no fans, all right? The only reason the stadium was full today is because they're playing a quality team. Watch them when they play Newcastle, Burnley, or whatever. It's empty. That's first of all. Second of all, I want to talk about Trent real quick. I don't want to say he's bad defensively because I believe he can do stuff like times to times, but he's so freaking lazy. It's crazy. The goal that Gabriel Jesus scored today was because he watched him. It was like, oh, I'm not bothered to even trying to stop him. What the fuck were you doing? That's not even being bad defensively. That's just been fucking lazy. And yes, Cancelo was also like not good. It's not lazy. That guy's not lazy. Just today was not good. But Trent today was freaking trash. Couldn't even do an easy pass. But whatever. I think at the second half he was better, obviously. But the second goal was just really terrible.
Sorry, bro. Did you say what? Define when you say trash because he played a major part in that second goal. So what do you mean by trash?
First goal as well.
Yeah, and you also assisted the first goal. So what do you mean by trash?
You can have some moment of brilliance. Doesn't mean that you played well. You didn't play well.
Oh, so do you want to have that same energy for Diego? In fact, you know what? Let me not carry on.
I was about to talk about Jota. I was about to. First of all, yes, Jota couldn't even make fucking 2 passes in a row. It was not good today. Let's be clear on that. But the thing I want to talk about, he doesn't play false 9. He doesn't. That's not true. Watch the difference when Jota and Mane plays in the center. You can see that Mane actually tries to play false 9, but obviously he's not. But Jota doesn't even try. He's a striker in that system. I'm telling you, he's a striker in that system. The referee was terrible. I believe we should have at least 1 red card. And also, he also like did some crazy stuff to us or whatever. But it was really terrible. Anthony Taylor is terrible as a referee. He's really bad. I wrote some notes also, and yeah, that was mostly it.
Mate, listen, I hear you. But listen, Peterson, I hear you on the Jota Trent thing, and that's exactly my point. Jota scores, but then makes some mistakes. Trash game. Trent was influential in the first goal, definitely, and obviously played a part in the second.
Yeah,
great game. So you're not going to mention his mistake.
I agree.
And that's, do you know what it is? A lot of Liverpool fans say to me, why do you always call Trent out? I'm not calling Trent out. I'm calling you fans out. I find it, what I love listening to, because I can hear it, it's the mental gymnastics going on when they're thinking of, shit, how do I get Trent out of what? How do I get him out of this one? That's what I love watching. That's why I do it. I like Trent. Someone said to me, would you take Trent at Man United? Tomorrow. I'd have him at Man United tomorrow. But I'd criticize his mistakes. Like, simple.
Can I even rephrase myself? I am one of the fans, not only Liverpool fan, but a football fan, that's saying it's not bad defensively. Sometimes it's just freaking lazy. I remember, I think maybe it was against West Ham. I'm not sure. The winger beat him, no problem with that. He didn't even try to run back. He wasn't even bothered to do so. That's my issue sometimes with him. It's not bad, but sometimes he's lazy. And also Klopp. I believe if he took Jota and Anderson earlier, we probably win the game. So yeah,
I can't buy this whole Trent's lazy thing. I can't, because literally 2 minutes before they played a brilliant ball over the top. It looked like, who's the left winger? Foden. Foden was in 1-on-1, and he sticks a toe out. He's had a lung busting run about 40 yards and stuck a toe out to get it back to Alisson to stop a clear.
So how can we defend what he did against Jesus today?
That's not laziness.
That's not laziness.
Because laziness would be stopping. What he did today.
He saw him.
It's a good run.
Exactly. It's all transport and all no credit.
It's a good run from Jesus, and that's what you want your striker to be doing. But Trent needs to be more aware. He just locks onto the ball.
Are you saying that he didn't see him?
No, he didn't look. He didn't look over his shoulder. That's not laziness. Because if he had seen him, he would have tracked him.
It's not good enough.
It's a lack of awareness.
Do you think also just one point as well?
Yeah.
So again, I agree with Terry when he says majority of our fan base, we do wrap Trent in cotton wool when it comes to defending. But I think I'm just saying, but not all of us, but a large part of our fan base. But I also think that's a cause of the unfair lens that he was given prior to this season, saying he was a bad defender and everything he does is his fault. I think we've been conditioned to protect Trent because of how badly he's had that lens on him.
No, you have. Well, I think you've been conditioned to protect Trent because when he was 21 years of age, Liverpool fans were saying that he's the greatest right back to ever play football in the Premier League.
Oh, that's whoever was saying that.
How old are you now?
23.
It's been said for at least 2 years, greatest ever right back in the Premier League. I've been seeing it on socials. I've been on socials this whole time. People have been saying it, but when you start making those claims, rivals will come out and look for any. Listen, I did it to Bruno Fernandes. I praised Bruno so much in his first 18 months. Best this, best that, best the other. So what the rivals do?
Did you compare him to Cantona? No.
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't do that.
He did say he'd be better than KDB.
I did, and for 18 months he was outperforming him. It's gone backwards since then. I'm in the mud, but that's life for you. But my point is more along the lines of people then come for him, and every little mistake. The reason Rashford's getting a more rough time than anybody else is because a lot of Man United fans said that he'd be Mbappe's level. So this is what happens. Peterson, by the way, my friend, thanks very much for coming on, having your say. I appreciate it, mate. Top man. Thank you. Got some super chats here to do. Keep them coming in, people, and that like button being smashed. I'm quite liking the beard at the minute. I've got to get it shaped properly. I did it myself. I'm not very good at it. I went to like everything's gone up price-wise. Energy. I went to my barber's. My barber is like a normal little Turkish one near where I live. It was £10 for a haircut and £5 to have a shave. Now, in total, if you do a shave and a little hair trim, £27. Bro. I was like, bro, I ain't getting a perm and a dye. The fuck's these prices? But yeah, I'm going to get a shape done soon. First time I've ever done it where I've done it like longer as it goes further forward. I don't even know why. I just quite like it. And then I'm going to reveal the hair when it's all done. And I'm not going to reveal it now, though. Not going to reveal it now. All right, super chat time. Why is Anthony Taylor refereeing big games? I don't know. That is from Ike. Great question, brother. After looking at the screenshots you put up there, I think the ref was on the wrong side, but VAR should have got involved. Red card for me. You'll never walk alone. Do you know what, Mr. Hussein? It's VAR on these subjective decisions has become about protecting the referee's on-field decisions so much. I hear you. B says, no game is a banker. This City have the advantage in the Prem. Any team that City should beat can beat City in the Prem. That's what makes it the best league. And you're right, B. Sure. You're right, B. No one would have said they were going to drop points to Southampton. Nobody would have predicted, even Tottenham winning there. Yeah. Nobody would have predicted dropping points to Crystal Palace. And in fairness, they should have dropped points to Everton as well if it wasn't for that handball not being given. So to act like because they've got an easier run, it's over, I think is a madness. But of course, City are dangerous, they're deadly, and will be hard to catch. Jota should have squared Salah in. That was criminal, is what Omar's got to say there.
On that, because I was thinking about it at half time. I'm not. It's annoying in hindsight, but in that situation, I'd want Jota to take the shot again because I'd be concerned if my striker weren't selfish. All the best strikers are selfish.
Salah's shooting from that position.
Salah. Do you think Salah's squaring off the Jota? No chance.
I hear you. What I meant was the refs are too inconsistent. I kind of got what you meant there, Gary. I got you, bro. Some Liverpool fans are too precious. Trent messed up, is what Herdeep has got to say there. Listen, I understand that. I respect the fact Liverpool fans defend him. I'm just playing. I'm just having a bit of a play. Right. We're going to go to another caller. We are going to talk about the rivalry as well on the show today. I want to ask these boys the question around, is this rivalry truly the biggest or greatest rivalry in Premier League history? So I want your thoughts and feelings on that in the comments section as well. Next caller we're getting, I'm going to throw a few rivals into the mix. Football Terrace regulars. First up, David's here with us. When he sits up in his chair, it annoys me. So sits up straight.
Sound like a school teacher.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good. That was a great game of football. That's what I have to say, really. It was a good game of football. Man City, though, again, proved that they're the better team. No offense, guys. They are better than you. It's just that their decision making. Gabby Jesus, his decision making is awful. I don't know what he's doing. The amount of times
are they better than us, though?
It was just him. I was shocked he was in the team. I'm literally talking about this one person. Like, his decision making is so bad, and it was so frustrating because they could have had about 2 or 3 more goals personally. But 2-2, you guys should take that because you guys in the first half were getting slapped around. And Trent, why can this guy just not mark? He just can't mark. What's wrong with it? What's going on? What is going on? Ram, I've got questions. I have questions because this guy, every time Reece James has done something, he's always in the chat. So now, again, Trent didn't track his runner. Simple track. The ball went over. All he had to do was track his runner, follow his man, and he let the ball through. I'm just saying, guys.
But Dave, you know me. I keep it consistent, yeah. I'm just letting you Chelsea fans know about your player, but you know me. I keep it consistent with Trent. I have a go at Trent, even with that Leicester goal.
Can we just say that?
And also.
No, go on. You
I was just going to say, why you're going at Jota, I'm bare baffled. Did this guy score? Have you seen my team? Have you not? Tom, I've been watching you, and you're in so much pain. But as for Chelsea, yeah, you see this. Champions of Europe. Do you know how much pain I have every game knowing that my team can't score goals? Do you understand the pain I have Timo and Roma? You're out here complaining about your goal scorers. That's
Dave,
mad.
You scored 6, man. Calm down.
I'm complaining about my goal scorer against Steve.
You're bang on, David. It's the first world problems. You get what I mean? It's sort of like it's crazy to me. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm looking at it from a team. My team is sitting 7th. We are dead. And some of the problems I see Liverpool fans moaning about, I'm like, why are you even upset?
It's like City fans when they complain about Sterling 24/7.
I hear you.
When he bangs in 20 goals.
You guys are 1 point off them. You're 1 point off them. Like, again, if you are these mentality monsters and you know Klopp is the better manager than Pep and so on and so forth, you should be excited. You got 7 games to go. If you've got the mentality, you should be winning every single game.
Yeah, man. Steve,
every
you could
single
have a
100%.
All I'm saying, I'm looking at the Everton game and thinking, Frank might have to.
No, Dave, don't do that.
Do you know what? There is going to be a shock result. Do you know what's funny about it? Like, for instance, whether it's Man United, Liverpool, there's Everton, there'll be a game for either City or Liverpool where everyone goes dead cert winner. And it will go, I don't know which team it will be, but there'll be a game that everyone goes, that's a dead cert, and it will go the other way.
I refuse it to be Everton. I'm sorry.
It will be Frank Lampard for City.
No, I refuse to Everton to be up.
No, it will be Frank Lampard for Everton, or it will be Stevie G on the last day for City. It's going to be what I'm so confident.
David, mate, I appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. I'll see you in this room Tuesday, brother, for the big night for Chelsea. Tuesday, baby. I'll see you soon.
We're getting knocked out in the Bernabeu. Yes,
Take care, mate. See you in a bit. Igao is with us now. We've got G Certified coming up as well. Man City fan. We've got Rack to come. Igao is here. What are you saying, bro?
Yo, what's good, guys? Honestly, football won today. You want to know why? Because that was a great game of football. It didn't matter what the result was. Either way, it was going to be a great game of football. But the first half, watching that first half, I felt like Liverpool and City canceled each other out for a little bit, and then City took control, calmed their nerves, had majority of the control of the game. The second goal came, and then Klopp did what he had to do, went in a halftime, gave them a rinsing, came back, got a quick goal. And from there, I thought, you know what? Liverpool have the advantage now. They can go on and see out the game. But then both teams just kind of both teams kind of just went blow for blow. There were so many chances, and nobody ended up capitalizing on their chances. I know that Sterling's chance was scored, but it was offside. I know Riyad Mahrez had a chance at the end of the game. He absolutely fluffed his lines. But I feel like going back, looking at the game now, City should have won it. City had the better chances. City had more control of the game. City had everything going their way. Liverpool, to come out of this game with a draw, I feel like they should be happy. And I think the title race today, Liverpool got shell shocked a little bit because they haven't faced a team this good in a while, and where City have been playing teams up this level, I would say. And I just feel like Liverpool kind of got shocked because let's be honest.
Who have they played?
1 second. City are usually used to teams either playing defensively against them or like Atletico Madrid, or people going toe to toe against them, right? Not really going toe to toe against them. Where you guys have not had teams press you the way that City pressed you today. Do you ever have anybody?
I think it goes both ways, Miguel.
What?
I think it goes both ways.
No. I think City are used to teams. I think City are used to teams that play either way, where you guys are not used to teams pressing you the way that they play.
Miguel, I think if City were used to playing that way, the gap wouldn't have been closed the way it has been.
Okay. I'm not even trying to take shots at Liverpool.
I know, but I'm saying that anytime a team has gone at City, they've paid the price for it.
Okay. Fair enough. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the actual situation where we're at hand now with the league. How do you think you're going to fare for the rest of the fixtures? Because when we look at fixtures, obviously we can see that City have the easier fixture run. You guys do have to face Manchester United, Everton, which is a derby. You're going to have to face Tottenham, and you're going to have a decent Wolves side on the last day of the season.
Frank. You can't handle that, Frank. Oh no, not Michael Keane. I'm not bothered. We'll win all our games for the rest of the season. We'll win them all.
You need us to win all our games.
It's just whether City win all theirs. That's the only thing that worries me now. It's now we could win all our games and not win the title. Now that's the only annoying thing about today. It's out of our hands. We have to rely on another team doing.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Gal. Go on, mate.
I think advantage went to City today. Because if you guys win this game, you're in the driving seat. But the fact that City control their own destiny, I still feel like they're in the driving seat. You guys feel like you lost the advantage today?
I respect that opinion. I do see it the other way. City led twice at home and needed to win because Liverpool's form is better and they're closing the gap, and trajectory is important. Now, of course, Liverpool could go on a bad run. Liverpool could do what Arsenal have just done. Your trajectory 4 games ago was looking amazing. 4 games later, your trajectory is now aiming, it could be as bad as last season. But I just don't see Liverpool having that brain fart 3 or 4 games where you draw 2 of 3 games. Like, I just can't see it. I think the pressure now is on City to maintain this, where Liverpool, it's almost, well, no one's expecting us to do it now because we're behind. City are relentless. You can kind of relax, and that's why you caught them, because everyone said it was over. So I give the advantage to Liverpool, but I am having to kind of bend over backwards to make that work. But
what I'm interested in is the fact that they played at almost 100% today and didn't win. I wonder what goes through their minds through that. So seeing Liverpool come out of this where they played almost their best ever performance this season, and we played arguably one of our worst at times in this game.
You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous because I feel like they dominated you guys in that first half, and you guys had to raise your levels in the second half to even get the draw.
And that's why I said at times we played some of our worst football this season.
No, but that's because how good they were. You cannot take away your opponent.
Sorry, Gal, listen, really good points being raised, good discussion points as well, brother. And we'll chat you again soon, my guy. All the best, bro. Top man. Thank you very much, my dude. G Certified on next. Man City fan, what you saying, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Terry. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the game, to be honest. At the end of the day, I felt like we could have done a bit better in certain areas, and obviously I wanted to get the 4-point gap just in case we do get, because I know we've got West Ham away, Wolves away. We've got really important games. We've got Leeds away, so 3 away games left. So I thought that if we do win, it would give us maybe a gap if we did drop points. But at the end of the day, if we play like we did today, we'll win the league. And I just hope we carry that momentum forward. We didn't win the League Cup, and I hope we can use that as motivation for the coming weeks. We're lost in the Champions League final. obviously last season as well. So I thought that helped us with this big occasion, because I felt like when Diaz came on, I thought that maybe Liverpool could nick at the end. Obviously, I heard something before about Edison, but at the end of the day, yeah, he made a mistake, but he also saved us. Jota had a chance, and to be honest, he should have finished it. I was impressed that he kept us in the game. Obviously, we should have had more chances, but I don't know who the advantage would go to. But I think that the advantage, as long as we can play like we did today, then I can't see why the advantage would be to us. But I don't know. Maybe if Liverpool players tire out because they've been in all 4 competitions, but we're just gonna have to see at the end of the season, to be honest.
Mate, great call, great points. And I think it's very much what Dom Hussim said around it's not really knowing how to feel right now. And maybe you City fans will wake up tomorrow morning and just look at it differently. Like look, Man United, when we were good, we had loads of these games. Almost every season, it felt like we had 1 or 2 of these matches. And when you draw them, it's such a weird... If you're 3 or 4 points behind and you draw, you kind of, it's terrible. But when it's still only 1 point, it's still only... City, 1 draw for City and in the game you win or a defeat and you're back in front. It's so close. It's so hard. You don't want to, it's almost like you don't want to make any sweeping statements either way. But G Certified, absolute legend for waiting so long and coming on, mate. I really appreciate it, bro. Top man. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to, sometimes I press that button. I don't think they're going to speak and then they do. You're being unfair to invite 3 guests or Liverpool. So that's not true. I invited 3 City fans today. None could make it. So that's it. We're going to have 3 and 3 and me in the middle. That's what we're going to do. So they were invited. It wasn't my fault. Tom, don't underestimate Spurs. They are in good form.
I'm not underestimating Spurs. I'm not saying Spurs are bad. Spurs
Did you say Spurs? You're saying no. You said what you're saying is Spurs are shit. You're saying Spurs are shit.
I'm not
Everybody,
saying Spurs
look, camera on me, please, Javern. Liverpool fans have all just said, all 3 of them, they just said it. I just heard them. The Liverpool Spurs are shit.
I'm not saying Spurs are crap.
Clip it.
All I'm saying is this Liverpool team, there's a title on the line. It's all we've got to do is keep winning our games, and we are that good. I back my team to beat Tottenham because I still think we're better than Tottenham.
I hear you on that. Comment here says, Terry, stop gassing up Liverpool. No, that wasn't the one. There was one I read, and it made me laugh because it's sort of true, actually. Let me find this. Where's it gone? Hang on a minute. Where's it gone now? It's actually annoying me. I can't see it. Did he delete it? It was somebody on Twitch. It's a Twitch comment. I need to find it now because it was actually... there it is. It says, Terry deep down inside wants City to win the Prem. He doesn't want Liverpool to get... Yes. I don't want Liverpool getting number 20 or the quad. But what I keep saying this every week. What I want to happen and what I think is going to happen are not the same things. I'm just being intellectually honest. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just saying what I want to sort of come to fruition as an example. Right, we've got Chike to come, but before him, Man Light Rack. He looks like he's pulled over and he's ready to chat to us. What are you saying, Rack?
Hey, mate. Yeah, I've just been at the game. I'm in Manchester. So, yeah, first time at the Etihad, and I was sitting in the City fans, which was an experience, especially as I wasn't cheering when the City fans...
Did you buy it at the door?
No, it cost me 230 quid. But yeah, this morning I found out at 10:30 in the morning, and yeah, drove straight up. So yeah, luckily someone who used to work at Liverpool.
Transfer budget.
That's not doing it. That'll be one of the season ticket holders making a profit. No. That's why I didn't get to see.
Probably.
What did you make of the game? And I'd like to get your view on who the advantage now sits with, mate.
Look, it's advantage City, but it's wafer thin. You know, there's still 21 points to play for, and we're capable of losing our games, of winning our games. Sorry, Freudian slip there. We're capable of winning all of our games. So City better not drop any points, and if they do, we'll be there to capitalise. And I thought we've played City twice this season. The first half in both games we've been poor. Second half has been a much more even game. I was obviously watching in the stadium, so I haven't been able to analyse it properly. You get carried away with stuff, and especially sitting amongst the City fans who are calling us murderers and stuff was a bit weird. But I thought we did well to turn it back around in the second half. City still probably had the better chance, and overall, probably if anyone was going to win, I think City probably deserved it. But at the same time, we live to fight another day. We should not, it's too early. We shouldn't get down in the dumps. all still to play for, not just in the league, but in the Champions League and the FA Cup. You know, we've got to do it all over again against them this time next weekend. And I'm still positive, man. We didn't lose. City played really well, and they didn't beat us. The only thing I would say, just countering what Ram said, today we had our absolute best team out, probably, almost certainly. Like, this is, if Klopp had all his players fit, this is the team that he would pick to start 90% of games.
With Jossa, 100%.
Team, not, I said performance, not team.
Yeah, okay. And I think the City still had the better of us, which is a little concerning. But every game is different. We could go out with the same team next week and beat them. I'm convinced it's possible, and I think we'll do it.
Listen, Rack, legend for calling in, mate. Have a safe journey home, and we'll speak again soon, brother. All the best, mate. Take care. Thank you. A few people in the comments having to pop up my jeans. Yes, they have holes in. But I wear my clothes. They don't wear me. I like them. Your opinion doesn't matter. Like, I feel good. It's how I feel that counts. That's it. That's all I've got to say. No real banter other than that, bruv. Trust me. And you wish you had thighs and calves like me, brother. That's what I'm saying. Bet you got them skinny little pipe legs. I mean, looks like a bit of cotton hanging down when you're wearing shorts. Liverpool poor choices defensively had City, I think he means made City look better. Yeah, listen, he switched off for the first goal and switched off for the second goal. Both goals were Liverpool switching off. The irony, they had, and even like, yeah, I mean, they had 2 or 3 other chances where if Gabriel Jesus plays the ball back right, they might score. Mahrez should finish at the end. But then, look, you know, Jota pulled off a top-class save from Ederson. There was chances on either end, really. It could have gone either way. Liverpool lead twice against us at Anfield. Yes.
Yeah, we did.
What, and it shows how even these two teams are, really, doesn't it? It does. 60% City advantage, 40% to Liverpool. I mean, did you get these stats from...
We led one time.
With the EPL, you never know. Of course, you remember Arsenal were 172% guaranteed top 4 at one point. There we go. Next on the show, Chike is here with us. What you saying, bro?
Hello, everyone. That was oh my god! I was watching the match with a couple of my friends here in my apartment. I think that's got to be the best match I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean. KDB scoring the first goal. He actually should have scored 2 minutes earlier, but my God, 2 of the goals were just an absolute joke. KDB's and then Sadio Mane's to equalize. That was just insane, mate.
Yeah, no, it was. Who would you give the advantage to now, my friend? Who do you think?
City, obviously. I think City have the advantage because they have the 1-point lead at the top. They're playing a hell of a lot better. I mean, the first half tells you right there. You know, if we had a number 9, that first half would have been dead and buried. You know, so I think the reason why Liverpool came back was, 1, we defended poorly for 2 of their goals, and also we didn't put our chances away that we had in the first half, and with Riyad Mahrez scoring at the end.
Yeah, listen, you did very, very well indeed. I hear that. I want to ask you a question, though.
Sure.
Should Liverpool have been reduced,
yes,
in your eyes, to 10 men?
Yes, 100%, 100%. But the reason why the referee doesn't give that is because he doesn't want to be that referee that basically costs Liverpool a title. And the reason I say that was because remember back in 2016 when Chelsea played Spurs and Leicester pretty much won the league at that time? So Chelsea played Spurs, and the referee, I believe his name was Martin Atkinson, and there were my brother told me about this, there were about 2 or 3 red cards that should have been nailed on red cards, but the referee didn't give those because he was afraid he would be the reason why Tottenham wouldn't get second place or third place. So the referee plays a huge outcome in these matches, and that's probably why he didn't give Thiago the second yellow.
A lot of people agree. A lot of people will disagree. I think that's the beauty of the refereeing decisions. Listen, my friend, I appreciate all your support, all your super chats. You give the channel, my guy, and we'll chat to you again soon. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much, Harry. Take care, everybody.
Take care, bro. Thank you very much indeed. Cameron here says, league is done when City gets Haaland, Paul lucky.
There is an oracle.
Imagine if you get them.
Not like it's just if Butts and
he's got a German obsession, that guy.
He's got a bat. He wants Goretzka, Kimmich, Lewandowski.
It's nothing to do with that. This Ram loves sausage. He loves sausage. He loves a sausage. That's what it is. Loves a listen, Nirvana. I know. Boys, I want to ask you a serious question though. Is this the greatest Premier League rivalry of all time? Jamie Carragher's made the claim. Quite a few Liverpool, quite a few City have backed it across socials.
Wants to go first.
What are you saying?
I'll take it because I think if you're looking at it from a quality standpoint, these are the two best teams to ever have a rivalry. But my God, is it boring at times? There's just nothing. They're too nice to each other. I don't want to listen to Pep Guardiola go, oh yeah, when I retire, my greatest challenge will have been beating Jurgen Klopp over all these years. I want facts. I want specialist in failure. I will love it when we beat. Them moments define these rivalries, and we're not having them because they're too nice. If we're looking at it from a quality standpoint, you're never going to get a rivalry. We haven't had one. There's a good chance we never will have a rivalry in the future where you've got teams challenging for 100 points and missing out on titles with 97 points, and then 100 points, 98, 99, back to back to back. But my God, it's just a bit boring at times. I want a bit of fight. I want a bit of nastiness. I want a bit of mind games. That's what makes these things so entertaining. That's why we remember the mid-2000s title races, because as much as Chelsea won them and this, that, and the other, it's Mourinho got into Wenger's head here right before this game, and then Arsenal lost it. So Mourinho, it's just, them moments are so important to the legacy of a title race in terms of making them entertaining, and we just don't have that this time. So I don't have it up there. I don't get excited to think about this rivalry again.
Yeah, no, I think, to be fair, I think for me the greatest rivalry will be Manchester United and Arsenal. I don't think it will be greater. Ours is greater. I just think it's just funny how this question comes up so much because again, the two teams who aren't involved, Manchester United and Arsenal, are so eager to be relevant and to, because their teams are done out. They want to question this rivalry, and that's just what it is in my opinion. I think Chelsea are just somewhere in the middle. But if you want my complete answer, no, I don't think this is the greatest rival. And my reason is again because the teams are too nice. I think I agree as well in terms of quality. I think the quality between Manchester City and Liverpool, you can't argue the quality. You just can't. It's there for you to see. It's there for the game you just played. But at the end of the day, you want your players, you want the managers to hate each other. You don't want it to be nice off the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I'll address your first bit about Man United and Arsenal and the irrelevancy thing. I get where you're coming from. I do. However, what I would say is this: when Liverpool weren't winning league titles, when you basically won, you won the Champions League
cups here and there.
Yeah, when you were in that space, you would have all rode out to defend your history because it matters. And because are you going for your 20th league title or your second?
20th.
But so you're including your history in that run.
Yeah.
And look, one thing I think it's wrong. Every season when a team looks like they might go invincible, well, every so often there's a season where a team looks like they might go invincible, and when they lose a game, Gooners celebrate. It's because they are the only Prem team and only the second team in the history of English football to go invincible, and Preston did it many, many, many years ago. It's something that's special to them. You guys never want anybody matching your Champions League record, even if they're not a rival, because it's special that you have 6 and nobody else is near you. I think the same thing counts for rivalries. That Man United-Arsenal rivalry, I still think is the best in terms of two teams challenging on all fronts, challenging for the Premier League title most years against each other. And I actually think, again, I've heard people say they were never the best two teams in the world. And yeah, maybe they weren't, but they were still Wenger's peak Arsenal and Fergie's treble winning. I mean, Man United treble winning team were the best team in the world at that time. But those title rivalries had everything. And I just think the one thing this City-Liverpool thing, as you say, is the needle. Like,
it's not nasty enough.
Pizzagate was a brilliant game of football with controversial moments, just like today. But the aftermath and the fight makes it infamous, and it will live on in British football history forever. This game, it was a draw, and it's not a decisive game. But say Liverpool won this or City win this today, I almost feel like in 5 years' time, football won't really remember it. And that's because you're taking away the needle. Barcelona, El Clasico is El Clasico because there is needle between those clubs. And whoever the managers are, there's needle. The players, there's needle. The fans, there's needle. Man City fans and Liverpool fans seem to respect each other too much.
It's also on the pitch as well. You don't get a lot of scrappiness on the pitch.
It's not like even you. I think even Manchester United and Chelsea, even probably up to at least 5 years ago, there's nastiness on the pitch. There's still stuff between, there's I even you look back at the Chelsea, I think he mentioned it, the City fan, he mentioned it. The Chelsea Tottenham game in 2016. I can't remember a game since then that's been as crazy, as nasty, the scraps every second.
And if we're being honest, well, like, listen, when you see like the players will scrap each other on the pitch, we all, we love it. And then, same in every sport, when there's a bit of, and I'm talking combat, not, combat sports, but they're all about fighting. But how boring is the build up to this Tyson Fury Dylan White fight because Dylan White's not turning up to the press conferences?
Tyson Fury's having to square up to a cardboard.
Yeah, exactly. And you need that because it gets the juices flowing, and that's what's missing from this rivalry. But I also understand. I know what Jamie Carragher's doing, and it's the same thing that Jamie Carragher's were doing 3 years ago before you guys won your first league title. And I saw it, and I called it out then, and it's still happening now. A lot of Liverpool pundits were praising this City team as the best Prem team ever. And it was just at the time where you guys are obviously in a title race, but you lot were on the way up. And I remember sitting there watching it. I thought, I know what you're doing. If you can get the footballing world to agree this is the best Premier League team ever,
build them up, and
then Liverpool overtake them, it makes you the default greatest team ever. I'm like, I'm not falling for it. Like greatest, like with City, they've been amazing. Some of their points records and everything else, but the points totals I've always thought are, I don't say overrated. It's the one
slightly fabricated.
Well, it's like I feel like City winning the league with 98 points, where they pipped you, was a better league win because they stopped a brilliant Liverpool team from catching them than their Centurions year, where nobody was chasing them, where it was boring from a football standpoint, in terms of memory, in terms of legacy. That would mean more.
Is that disingenuous to a City team to go and get 100 points? Because again, no one else has done it.
No, I get that, but I'm telling you, them as players and fans, the year they stopped you with 98 points meant more to them than getting 100 points.
Yeah,
the company goal. Just take that. If that happens the year before. No, it doesn't have that same...
Because you guys are chasing them. And this is where football, as much as we love... I look at it this way. If you win a game, you play a game like... Say you beat City 5-0 today and you outplayed them. The banter's there. Look at the beautiful football. It's great. But if I offered you a 5-0 whitewash, or you won today with the last kick of the game, which one are you taking?
Last kick of the game. I want an Alisson header, man.
I want a 5-0 whitewash.
Okay, so I mean, you look at football differently. I think, I would say,
as a neutral, I'd want.
No, I hear that. So 75% of us here, and I reckon it'd be about 75-25 split in football fans, would take the 1-0 last minute winner because the euphoria is so much. And I think that's the same when it comes to a title race. I've seen Man United win league titles where we've walked away with it. I've seen us win it on the last day of the season. When you look back, it's I want to win it on the last day of the season, or with a game or two to go, because there's a different type of adrenaline release. And when it comes to these rivalries, it's, for me, I get like City being the best team ever. Yeah, okay, they need to. For me, until they win a Champions League, they don't go into the they're in the conversation, but they can't pit the greatest English sides that have won leagues and Champions Leagues in a collective group, because that's disingenuous and unfair to teams that have conquered Europe at the same time domestically. So I kind of get why Jamie Carragher's built this up as the greatest rivalry. If it's the greatest ever rivalry, you then can easily start sliding these two teams in as the greatest two Premier League sides of all time. And look, Liverpool have won one Prem. You can't be the greatest Premier League team of all time with one Prem. I just don't think that bad, even though you won it in style and a Champions League. But viewers, I'd love your view on it. I'd love your opinion. Is this the greatest rivalry ever in football? I would like to know from you on that. But boys, really appreciate you all coming into the studio today. There's a good atmosphere in here. And listen, it's all I think for me, when I'm looking at this now, it's all to play for now because of the draw. It just feels even more exciting as a neutral. Viewers, before you leave, please smash those like button for us. The like button for us. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Turn on the bell notifications as well. Back tomorrow with more content for you. The Top 6 show is back as we gear up for an epic Champions League week. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all soon. Thank you.